traffic or even notice sudden roadworks cropping up across Nairobi, it's no coincidence. From major highways to estate roads, contractors are back, marking a major turnaround after years of stalled projects. This renewed activity follows a government move to inject billions into the roads sector through a financial tool known as securitization. And as Jasmine Wamboi now reports, the move is helping clear long-standing debts and put the country's road infrastructure back on track.
The signs are everywhere. From Kenyatta Avenue to Waiyaki and even Ngong Road, it is clear that contractors are back to work. For months, these same sites had fallen silent. Contractors have been pulled out because they were owed billions in unpaid pending bills. That has since changed. The government has injected about 175 billion shillings into the road sector, not through new borrowing or taxes, but through a process called securitization.
It is an idea we did toyed about for quite some time until we got support from the highest office in this country for us to move on.
Here is how it works. Every litre of fuel you buy is taxed 25 shillings for road maintenance. The government has now taken 7 out of the 25, packaged it into a financial product and sold it to investors who will then receive it over a period of 7 years. That transaction has generated immediate upfront cash amounting to 175 billion shillings for the government. The money is now being used to pay contractors their unpaid dues in a move expected to restart more than 580 stalled road projects, many right here in Nairobi.
Out of the 175 billion, a part of it is for roadworks, a part of it is for interest on delayed payments, and part of it also is for land compensation to create avenues to put up those roads.
The accumulation of pending bills has occurred over the last decade, beginning in 2016. Many have questioned how this unpaid dues were allowed to grow to such significant extent, especially under government oversight.
Then we had the COVID, which came in around 2020. Around that time, so much focus was put on the health sector, and the roads which were ongoing did not get enough sufficient funds under the budgets to be able to be paid.
So far, contractors have received 40% of the amount owed to them. The government maintains that another 40% will be disbursed in about 2 weeks. The remaining balance will be settled shortly thereafter. But even as they begin to receive their dues, it has come to light that contractors were compelled to forfeit about 35% of the interest on these pending bills, raising concerns about potential strong-arming tactics by the government.
It was a negotiation. In fact, actually, initially we offered they waive 50%. We negotiated until they agreed to waive 35% of the interest. So what we did now, we paid 40% of 65% of the interest. There was no coercion or anything, it was a negotiation.
A section of Kenyans has expressed fears that the diversion of the road maintenance levy to clear old debts could leave existing roads neglected, given that the fund is primarily meant for the maintenance of existing roads. This at a time when the government is looking to securitize an additional 5 shillings from the levy.
In terms of how it's going to affect the maintenance of works, we don't think, yes, there will be some slight reduction in terms of what can be done with the remaining money, but really it was worth doing it.
Tax experts from audit firm KPMG say securitization of public funds is not a new phenomenon around the world.
The issue of securitizing public funds became more common around the 80s and the 90s, and of course with Europe and all that. But now coming to Africa, most of them have started in the year 2000. So the first time that we are trying to see this one from a Kenya perspective, of course driven by the struggle of trying to raise public revenue.
And Kenyans should expect to see more public funds being securitized in the future.
So we are likely to see government going that route because of the struggle, and particularly as we continue to next year, 2026, 2027, it will become increasingly difficult to raise more taxes, and therefore mobilizing domestic revenue becomes extremely difficult. So the only option is, can we look at some of these funds, like the SHIF, the affordable housing levy that we have, among other levies, particularly the ones that are reinvested, that cannot be used for any other purpose, then we can be able to obtain current or the current cash flow.
Jasmine Wamboi, Citizen TV.